Okay, time for another off the top of my head chat. Right, this one is, well, they're all quite abstract, aren't they? But this one, for once, yeah, you know what? Probably the only time I'm excited to watch back and just see, what I make of what I've said. Because I've literally, as most of the time, but this one especially, I have never thought along the depth or the sheer magnitude, the size, or the what's the word? I don't know. Good start. Anyway, as I know, rehearse my videos. I don't plan or edit them. I just literally do them. Right. I watched a documentary the other night, and it was, as usual, I stumbled across it, and it was about some guys. Well, one particular guy was presenting the documentary, and he was a scientist. He was in his 50s, this guy, maybe early 60s, and he basically was coming back to meet up with some guys that he met and did some work with, spent a lot of time with actually, at a science convention years ago. And the reason for them spending quite a lot of time together was the discussion and the debate and the digging, the search that they all got obsessed with, which was the answer to the question: can consciousness be created like most things can, except so far that consciousness or life spark, and the sub question, well, same question, I suppose, just in a different or same subject, very closely related, was, does the brain itself make consciousness, invent consciousness? Is it a soul from outside that is there all the time? Or, basically, is the brain creating what we call consciousness, or the soul, or the spirit, or whatever it is, the real us that's driving this vehicle of a body? Okay, that's the question. And I mean, this is the question that I think any philosopher and any body that's got half a brain, get the pun, will have thought, wondered at one point or another, at least once. I hope so. Anyway, I mean, God, you know what? I am envious of someone that has never, ever, ever done it, never thought of this, and never pondered this, and never will, because crikey, this is a head screw, right? Because nobody knows the answer apparently. Well. The show went on. I'll tell you about the show first. The show went on, and he met up with these guys, and they had all these different theories, and it was very interesting. However, where they were stuck was where I think most people get stuck, and that's what they were saying as well, it seems, is that everything you do physically, even emotions you decide to do, sorry about covering him, comes from an explanation. There's an explanation to it from impulses, signals, to the muscles from the brain. Where they can register that. It's being registered. Obviously, who's they? It's fictional they, the big they. Yeah. But the actual being alive, being self-aware, conscious, I suppose the most interesting part for me was wondering my whole life, why am I aware of me and aware of you and able to change my mood and from content, maybe ecstatic, and then just a few thought processes completely could be unrelated to what's going on around me at the time, so you say random, set you into a massive depression when you start thinking about the past. And even sometimes, just as much, you think about the future and what maybe in a negative or pessimistic sense. And you go from elation to suicide, you know. I mean, you know, well, I do example. I got what they call bipolar. Bipolar. Well, so I have mood swings up and down, you know, don't we all? Not like mine. Anyway. Drugs are bad, don't do drugs. None the doctor give you anyway. Never have, never will. And, well, yeah, I've seen what they do, so I'm very pleased with that. Because, God, I'm screwed up enough as it is. Got any worse, Jesus. Right, anyway. It got me thinking. About magnets, right? Electromagnetism, plasma, living things carrying electrical charges. And you know what started all this off? Was I watched this documentary, and then I don't believe in the word coincidence. My girlfriend said to me, my wife, said to me, she called me and said, "Do you want a drink? I'm just at the shop." I said, "You know what? I have a Lucozade. I've had it for ages." They didn't have it, so she bought me Lucozade Sport. It's just not the same, is it? You know, it's like saying, "Do you want a game of football?" "Yeah," and then someone pulls out a lacrosse bat. Anyway, Lucozade Sport, and it says on it, replaces electrolytes. One of the biggest things. I thought, electrolytes. What's that? Anyway, that spurred me on to just doing a little bit of digging about, you know, factual biology. Because everyone thinks they know, and some people do know, but it's only when you dig you realise how much you didn't know. You know, about basic things you thought you did. Anyway, like when they say you eat spinach and iron, right? I sound like I'm jumping around here and digressing, but like, you know, like the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, Iron Age, whatever, you know, it's all about metals, right? And it's all about metals because elemental metals have magnetic charges, electromagnetic charges. That is what causes them to vibrate independently. Spontaneous vibration, spontaneous movement is created by two magnets of the same polarity pushing away or attracting of opposite. See, you don't need any being to start that off. If you just have the particles, you know, electrons, neutrons, whatever, you know, the atoms, molecules with positive and negative charge, because everything has to have an equal opposite, right? Or therefore it cannot be, because it is nothing unless it is in relation to something. Yeah, relatively. So, this got me thinking. If I'm speaking the obvious, everyone knows what I'm saying. Cool, whatever. But this was the first time I thought of this. We've got metal buzzing around our bodies constantly. Now, compasses are constantly being pulled towards the north, the centre of where we live, you know, and controversial, but I believe the sun, being about 30 miles across and about 3,000 miles high, it's what I know, plain trigonometry, but whatever, don't debate that with me now, yeah. I think it's being controlled. I think it's plasma. I think it's being, you know, doing its course and then returning its journey back. Anyway, point of that is not to debate whether the sun is and the flat earth and all this sort of stuff. It's just to basically say there is a great importance on magnetism. The compasses prove it alone, just, you know, in the centre. I mean, what the fuck is in the middle that pulls everything like that? I mean, do we really know? Ancient maps all swear from where in the world and say there's something. They call it different names, but basically it's a mountain of magnetite, apparently, or a huge amount of magnetite in the centre. Interesting that Polaris just sits directly above it. Right, now, I don't believe anything we're told, because I think literally, I think most of it's a complete lie, and I've researched and researched, and I've tried to debunk myself. I'm not one of those people, seems rare, that turns away when I read something or get confronted with something that isn't my liking or belief. No. That's what I want. I want to be contested. I want to be yeah, I want to be, opposed. I want, because then we can debate, we can get to the bottom of things, So yeah, I always try and debunk myself. And sperm, okay, we got straight on to sex already. Didn't take long. How long did it take? It took 10 minutes. Cool, that's long. Not much quicker than that. Right. So basically, I don't believe that there's loads of little tadpoles in you swimming around, and it's proven, actually, it's a fact. Every video you've seen of supposed sperm or photos, it's not. It's a lie. It's actually, that's frogs or tadpoles or newts or something, whatever. I didn't know that, but yeah, there is no legit videos of sperms looking like tadpoles. If you think about it, it makes sense, because we're just told, aren't we? I mean, you take it for granted. You go, yeah, sperms are all in there, my bollocks. You had sex, shoot a load, and they go, and they'll go rushing off, they'll win the woman, they'll go down, they go down the fallopian tubes, find the egg, and the one makes it, big macho. So you're telling me my bollocks are full of little babies, potentially little tadpoles, and what do they do? How do they live? They eat each other? What? I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't. I think eggs are fertilised. There's the fluid, obviously, it comes out of your dick when you shoot a load, yeah. When it's the fluid, seminal fluid, semen, is measured electromagnetically, yes, it has a very high charge. Now, when they bring someone back to life, they use the paddles, old Mary Shelley, Frankenstein, that thing with the light, I have this suspicion, and that my gut is it's never been wrong, and I don't always obey it, and that's why I end up in shit. But it's never wrong. My gut is telling me that I'm right when I clicked and thought, sperm is electromagnetic. It's electric. It's full of a little buzzing, electricity is buzzing. That goes in the woman. And that causes a connection with the egg, and that's what grows the new baby. And that would explain the spark. To be continued very soon. What do you think of that, people? What do you think?